to Robin's house. Today I'm working on the meant to be scrapbooking projects, and the technique that they use in this is using the Stampin' Write markers to create some little bee buzzings. So this is also could easily be called stitching, faux stitching. So I just wanted to use my little papers here and go over kind of some options. So this project has you making a little bee trail from his little bee bottom, and then just creating a little spiral that goes. And you can see that I'm not spending too much time. It's just as if I was drawing a line, and I just treat it as though I am just writing. So another fun way to do stitching is if you want to stitch around the edge of something, a journaling box or a page spread. You just, I just freehand. You could use a ruler, but the best real way to do this would be to grab if you're nervous about doing yours evenly, just grab an extra paper and use that as your guide. Now, I find that harder because when you've got a guide, you really kind of stop and start harder than you would just drawing. But it does help you keep a little straighter. This line is definitely straighter than that line. And then there's also, if you like sometimes instead of adding another layer of cardstock, it's fun to just add a frame. And that just adds just a little bit of a black pop to things. I know it's one of Gail's favorite tricks, but it does. It really helps to emphasize something a little more than you would have. And of course, if you're nervous about that, you can always use a paper to help you draw your lines. And then that makes it just that much easier for you. You just have to remember to actually stop. It's a tiny bit hard to notice where you're supposed to stop if you're using a paper, but there you go. So we've got one that's just freehand and one that's very nearly perfect. And then there's also the people that are nervous about their freehand. So they just intentionally, I have a hard time intentionally being sloppy. And then just kind of, barbed wire it. I'm just drawing lines. I don't even care where they go. And then just where they intersect, I'm just gonna barbed wire it. And that can actually look really cool, especially if you are brave enough to do it. But it is definitely fast and easy, no thinking aloud. And it's a really nice way to frame something, or just add a little bit of border, or corral something in, or just a little bit of something. So that is using your Stampin' Writes. And so that's going to be a little bit thicker probably than your journaling pen because it is a marker. And then the Stampin' Write also has a brush tip. So it's, you could also emphasize some of the, mix and match in your journaling with a little bit fatter of a word. So hope that helps get you to use your Stampin' Write or even your journaling pen to create some lines and stitches and just a little bit of extra interest to your projects. Thank you so much for watching. Happy crafting.